Well, hello there, Sagittarius. What a month we have for you. I don't know what you're changing your mind about, but I would say that's a big theme for you in December of 2025, as well as potentially destined new romance through travel or learning opportunities, and a lot going on in the travel part of your sky. We're going to break down how this works for you as we go through the month ahead. You can be listening for your Sagittarius sun, moon, or rising sign. All three apply. Sun, career purpose, essentially the true you, your core self, the rising sign, your character in the game of life, your avatar in the matrix, but also very accurate for circumstances in your life. Listen to your moon sign about how you feel about your life. Sometimes it connects to matters to do with your home. So welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac and the whole sign house system. And if you're new to astrology, I am a fan of the old fixed stars and minor asteroids of traditional astrology. And on my YouTube channel, I cover weekly, monthly, and all the moons and eclipses in all signs format. If you like that kind of thing, please like, subscribe, and give me a chance. Also, I'm only sharing one thing about promotions, kind of two things. Some of you might have missed my 2025 All Signs Bundles pre-sale price unfortunately, the individual signs, but you can still buy them for the regular price, which is very affordable. The All Signs Bundle has literally 12 videos, and they're all 2 hours long. They're downloadable. The audio is downloadable. There's a written PDF, and it's also watchable on a private YouTube link. This is my fundraiser to get staff, video editors, more a new computer, a ring light, better mics, etc. This is my yearly fall fundraiser that allows me to build this channel for you, or build up my astrology practice for you. So go ahead, jump on in if you want to grab that. I just started a Substack. The Pluto Chronicles is my new Substack column. It's also going to be including a podcast. It's free. Do you want to learn about the Pluto story? My latest one is about the nuclear saber rattling. Come check it out. It's in the description box below. Just come give me a try at Substack. I love to write, and that's my written format, though there will be an audio podcast coming there as well. All right, so let's get going, Sagittarius. The first thing is Mercury. When we do the month ahead, this is funny, this is how I work, right? Written pieces of paper. When we do the month ahead every month, and I go for 20 to 30 minutes per sign, we talk first about the major planetary movements. We talk about Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and what they're doing in the sky. Then we move into the breakdown of the chronological dates in the weeks of December, the moons, etc., and what you should be paying attention to based on the vantage point of a Sagittarius person. Now, let's start off with the first thing, Mercury. See, Mercury's retrograding in Sagittarius in a way we haven't seen since 2017, as a part 1718, as part of an elemental fire year. And so when Mercury is retrograding in the sign of you, and he begins this month already retrograde as of November the 26th, and will be retrograde to the middle of December, to the 15th, it indicates that you're backpedaling on something important. You're changing your mind. You're going to rethink it, revise it. You're going to, reinvestigate it, but it's a backwards motion. So something that you were doing perhaps November the 2nd, right, through to the 26th, when we had Mercury in direct motion in the sign of Sagittarius, is now going to be reinvestigated, rethought, and maybe you can change your mind. Mercury is the mind in the first house. So what do you think? Rethinking. When he's backwards in the sign of you, maybe you're not at your best. I wouldn't sign an important document in the first 2 weeks of December or the last week of November. I would be, Mercury is big picture Sagittarius energy, but he's the details guy. So we call him in detriment. Good news, he's talking to Jupiter across the way in the house of marriage. For some of you, might be rethinking agreements you've made with contracts, legal agreements, publishing agreements, things you've agreed to with a significant long-term relationship partner. These could be major rethinkings that are ongoing for you. Last week in November and the first 2 weeks of December, and you're not your best for the details. So this is a really good time to hire like a video editor. That's what I need. Hire a lawyer, attorney, or ask a friend to really talk it through with somebody. Are you making the right decision? And if you're changing your mind, is your reversing course the right action as well? Get some other eyeballs on your indecision or reversing around ideas and things that you want to do. Jupiter is in the marriage house. He's retrograde. He's testing your marriage through to February 4th. Is it going to stick or not? For example, So Sagittarius, if there is any difficulty in a long-term committed love story and Mercury's retrograde, this is a time of revising and rethinking. Jupiter's retrograde as well. So those long-term committed contracts in business and love are undergoing some renovations in the first 2 weeks of December. And Mercury will be November the 2nd through to January the 7th in your sign. So you might have a lot of ideas, a lot of communications, a lot of deal making going on all the way through December into January 7th. What about Venus? And what about Mars? Well, let's do Mars first because Mars is retrograding as well. He will begin, first of all, Mars is retrograding in the sign of Leo, and that is a fire trine to you. And so it doesn't feel too difficult for you, but that's your 9th whole sign house. And Mars is going backwards on December the 6th from the 6th degree of Leo in your 9th house. This is pretty well a signal that Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising in the first 10 degrees of Sagittarius feel this retrograde more strongly. Mars is pulling back in a way he did in 1977, 78. It's that long ago he pulled back from Leo in the same way. And he's going to be regrouping and rethinking and redoing actions and decisions that were in play in your life already. In particular, we have to remember that he was in Leo from November the 4th. And by December 6th turns backwards. So what was going on in November, basically, that you were thinking about to do with higher education, foreign land visas, and travel, matters connected to judges and courts, matters connected to spiritual faith, book publishing, matters connected to third long-term marriages, committed love stories. You were making some kind of progress November the 4th. And then you turn back, and spiritual faith and communities. And then you turn backwards and said, now you're turning backwards, December 6th. And you'll be going backwards in this retrograde, actually till February, but only in the sign of Leo until January 2nd. So basically December 6th to January 2nd is rethinking things to do with courts, legal matters, and foreign travel, and higher education. And then Mars dips in to your 8th house, where he was all of September, October, which is shared assets and resources with a business partner or your marriage partner, and the monies you share or don't share in separation and divorce, for example. And Mars will also be, all through February, March, April, May. April, mid-April, like back there revising those things as well, or royalty income or publishing royalty income deals or banking and finances. But for now, in December, the real redo, rethink, react, redecide is in that 9th house. So again, November 4th to December 6th, what were you up to in the 9th house that now you're going to have backtrack on and rethink it or redo it or revision it in some way? Venus is moving into Aquarius on December the 6th through to January the 2nd. This is important. Oh, and by the way, did I say that Mars was retrograde December 6th to January 6th in your 9th house? Okay, not 2nd. Venus is retrograde. Venus is in direct motion, moves into Aquarius on December the 6th. This will have her plunking right down on top of Pluto, which we're going to break it down in a little more detail when we get to the chronological part of the month, but that's a very important, super powerful event. And we saw it in February of 24, but not this way. This is including a flow to the nodes of fate, which makes this very special. So December 6th or so is the beginning of a very potent Venus ingress. And this is where I hinted at love and romance, because she will flow into a perfect sextile to the node of fate, well, not perfect, but close enough to the node of fate, north node of fate in the house of romantic love. And if you are single, this could indicate in December, you may meet somebody on a trip, in an educational setting, on a dating app, or in the neighborhood. These are ways to meet somebody that you could have a very profound, destined, transformative love relationship with. And when she's in the sign of Aquarius, she's also flowing to the south node in your 11th house, indicating as well connections to friends from your past that may involve travel, may involve, going places with them or doing group events with people that you feel a deep soul connection with. And again, that's December 6th through to January the 6th, really, where you get that energy playing out. We also notice that Jupiter, of course, is still in your 7th house. He's retrograde since October 9th through to February 4th. That's that revise and deepen or rethink a long-term committed love relationship or business partnership alliance, or how you approach your audience and marketplace. Well, Lord Saturn, of course, is still sitting until 2023, starting March of 23, all the way to full-time February of 2026. You're learning about something about home alone, isolation in the home, lonely at home, hardship in the home, depression in the home, anxiety in the home, an elder in the home, or you're looking to structure a dream long-term home where you feel at home in a dream home. So building a new home, buying a new home, those are things a lot of Sagittarius are looking at as well. 2023, March to February of 26, and you're in the midpoint of that. And Saturn is direct as of November 15th, which is wonderful, allows you to move forward, to push forward in those sorts of matters to do with your home life. All right, so let's go ahead now and do the chronological breakdown of the month ahead. Remember, this is general bell curve astrology. This is not specific to your own natal chart. Some of it will and will not apply. I try to remind you of that. And not everyone's going to win the lottery of a certain sign. That doesn't make any sense now, does it? Like just using our logical mind. We're like, I don't think that makes any sense. All right, December of 2025, break it down into the chronological order. Let's start off on December 1st and 2nd, where we have a beautiful and lucky trine between Venus and her in the sign of Taurus in her home kingdom. Venus, oh my gosh, December 1st and 2nd in Capricorn with her boss babe shoulder pads flowing to Uranus in her home kingdom of Taurus. Well, Uranus is retrograde, but he is on a wealth star. And so this is a story we've been feeling already. This is Uranus on this wealth star for a long time, wealth and calamity, but this is positive because Venus is in your money and earnings and possessions. So your financial wellness flowing to Uranus in your sixth house. Two ways this can go. You can dramatically and radically quit your dietary habits and style and completely change your food style. Like this could be like a huge change of food style. Like, whoa, I can't believe I'm changing my food style to vegan. Or this could be a radical and a dramatic and exciting financial uptick, but it's probably connected to rental properties, to debt relief, and someone owing you money, paying you back, or you paying down a debt suddenly and easily. Maybe it's connected to work and career matters. Uranus is in the work house. I know some people are retired. Where do you do the service and the daily acts of your life? There's a surprise and it's financially positive, and it's occurring in the first 2 days of December. December the 3rd through to the 7th is one big pile up of action. Okay, I'm going to call it the big pile up here. Let's go into the details of this. First of all, one thing I like about December 3rd to the 7th is Venus then flows to Neptune, and that can bring some dreamy energies into your life. And that is like, wow, what does Neptune want in that sextile flow from Venus? Well, it could be something to do with a dream possession for your home. And this is really around the 4th and 5th of December. You're able to buy the dream sofa, the dream bed, the dream piano, the dream something. It could be a dreamy redecoration project around your home. It's going to be also really kind of sweet for things to do with maybe a financial bonus connected to the land, property, and real estate that's almost like a dream come true. And it involves structure and form, Saturn. So maybe, you get a great building contractor deal or something, and you can't believe the price, or maybe you're going to end up with some kind of property purchase or sale offer or opportunity that's really quite lovely. And so that's the story you have going in December 4th and 5th. On December the 3rd through the 7th, we have a giant T-square in the sky. T-squares look like triangles like this. Now, this is the Sun and Mercury coming together in what's called a Kazimi. All right, they're going to be in the heart of the Sun, December 5th and 6th. Time zone dependent, and they're a Kazimi at 14 degrees of Sagittarius, which is your sign. The closer your sun, moon, and rising is to the 14th degree, the more you feel it. And this is a divine download, a magical insight, an important phone call, text message, and email that comes in or that you make that has a defining moment, and it may surprise you, but it's very blessed, positive energy. So you're going to feel that Kazimi coming into the storyline for you, that very precious moment on the 5th and 6th. But at the same time that Mercury is in the heart of the Sun, he happens to be opposite Lord Jupiter and squaring Saturn. Saturn in your 4th house of home, Jupiter in your 7th house of relationship, makes for a very tense moment regarding legal contracts, negotiations, significant long-term love relationships and business partnerships, and matters to do with home property and real estate. Clearly, if you're trying to buy and sell a property, there's a lot going on here that could be quite complicated. So watch out for that energy that's really intensely there between the 4th and the 6th of December, but you can give it the whole first week of December for sure. And what's going on in this kind of, I'd say, we're going to I'm going to look at my real time clock while I tell you what I think is like watch out or watch when you really want to duck. Yeah, so it's kind of like watch out for December the 5th in particular, where you could have a legal contractual meltdown or something to do with property, land, and real estate, or discussions with your main partner and isolation and conflict with people in your home. So it's hard for the domestic life and people you live with. It's hard for the significant other that you might be with. And it just looks like a communications debacle because Mercury is not so greatly positioned in Sag. Yet Jupiter's trying to help because he's also in Mercury's house. On December the 7th, we have something 6th, 7th, something very, very positive happening. Now, you'll feel it, depends on your time zone, on the 6th and 7th, as Venus enters into Aquarius, and she's co-joined with Pluto, but at the same time, flowing to the North Node in your romantic house. And that could be really good, not just for those romances, and I mentioned it earlier in the intro, but really good for things to do with your children as well. Maybe trips with your children, positive emails or phone calls or texts from your children, positive developments regarding creative projects in the online world, regarding entrepreneurial business projects in your online world, and a real glow up or level up in that part of your story. So any of you who are authors, and particularly because you've written a book or are writing something, this is a beneficial transit as well. And it kind of lingers throughout the entirety of Venus, December 6th to January 2nd, moving through your 3rd house of writing, communicating, teaching, and learning and traveling. And things are flowing to the nodes of fate, meaning destined events are occurring as you teach, learn, write, or communicate, especially regarding increasing your joy, your fun, your play, your romantic life, your inspiration with the muse, and that kind of thing. And of course, travel with friends that you've known from the past, travel connected to an elder sibling, communications with an elder sibling, one above you, or more connections with your younger sibling, one below you. These are kinds of themes I'm seeing playing out for you in December, but mostly, again, closer to that December 6th to the 10th time frame. So let's go ahead and look at the next bundle of activity. On December the 12th, Venus and Mars, the cosmic lovers, will be in a teeter-totter opposition, and that for you is going to be a potent moment in which Mars in the 9th house opposing Venus in the 3rd can suggest, first of all, if it's romance, it's sizzling hot. Are you involved in a travel love affair? Have you met somebody in the library? Are you getting involved with someone with a foreign language, culture, a background, or you know what I mean? There's a foreign energy with it, the 9th house Mars. Are you having some real intense push and pull regarding things to do with publications, visas, and passports, and things aren't going as smoothly as you might have liked? That's another way of looking at that. But Mars is one to end in S7, and Venus wants to bring something together. They have differing agendas here. I'd say that you could definitely, though, be looking at that, still that hot sizzle, the tango of Mars and Venus, where if you're looking for a relationship, wonderful. That looks like a real fantastic time for, even an online dating app, which is 3rd house. But if not, and you're already in a relationship, there may be a kind of like intensity around romance and travel. Maybe your partner's traveling too, and maybe that's what Mars is doing. He's kind of opposite the love, in the domestic or close at home environment of the neighborhood. Watch out for conflicts with a younger sibling. Watch out for legal conflicts with a younger sibling. Watch out for lawsuits from neighbors and younger siblings. I know that sounds like a lot just during this time, but with Mars retrograde, these are events from your past. So it's nothing new to you. It's like now you're having to deal with round 2 at the, bargaining table with the lawyers or something. Some of this can definitely involve some conflicts regarding long-term committed love and marriage relationships, jointly held finances as well, and that coming through your sky around December the 12th, give or take a few days on either side. We have on December 14th to the 20th, A lot going on. The first thing is a full moon that's happening on the 15th, and it's at Gemini 23 degrees. You, in your chart, this puts it squarely as a new beginning in the marriage house. Long-term committed monogamous relationships and significant relationships are having a fresh start. If your Sagittarius sun, moon, and rising is near that 23rd degree of Sag, it means it's really on your descendant. And this means it's a really intense reboot, re-beginning, but all new moons bring full moons. Did I say new? I mean full. Full moons bring a spotlight to the story. How are you seeing this spotlight play out? What are you looking at? Like a giant flashlight beam is in that marriage house, and it can bring fulfillment and completion. It can bring a ripening or a harvest ending. So there's a thing about a full moon. It kind of shows you, just like you go hunting at night, in the woods, and you can't see, so you don't go hunting unless it's a full moon in the olden days. And, there's a big light bulb going off in your seventh house. This is also a big light bulb in the house of business partners and how you fulfill your outreach to your audience, marketplace, and clients. And because it's happening at 23 degrees of Gemini, if anybody listening to this full moon is really impacting you, Sag, sun, moon, and rising, when you have maybe, I'd say, a 20 to 26 degree ascendant or sun or moon position, 20 to 26, you're really getting a lot of intensity from this full moon energy in your seventh house, as the moon is giving you a big flashlight to look at your marriage, to look at your legal contracts, to look at your business partnerships, to look at how you approach your clients, marketplace, and audience. Some of you will complete Jupiter's retrograde till February 4th. Some of you will complete marriages and long-term love stories. You might just get ready to exit, but this moon is going to overlap with the turnaround of Jupiter on February 4th, because every full moon, like every new moon, will unfold not just over the 2 weeks that follow this December 15th lunation, but over the 6 months that follows as well. And it's coming off a new seed you planted back in June after the new moon happened in the seventh house. All right, so this is the fulfillment of something that was beginning back then. We also see that Mercury will trine in Mars, which is wonderful for commercial success, for sure, or actions and decisions and ideas being all bundled together in a positive way. This is really acute, December 14th to the 15th. We do know that Mars is retrograde, so it involves matters that you're rethinking that go back to the month of November. But a retrograde Mars is trining a Mercury on December 14th, 15th, and 16th. And that's Mercury stationary, getting ready to go direct on the 16th. Which makes it even more powerful. So part of this story is Mercury turning around and talking to Mars. And that's Mercury in the house of your mind and your thinking and your ideas and what you wish to communicate. It's going very still, pivoting direct, and talking to Lord Mars in the sky. It could literally be a major decision point for you. And if you're making a major decision, which is a Mars story, and it's a Mercury is your ideas or your thoughts or your mind about the decision, here's what I would say. For some of you, this decision may very strongly involve matters to do with legalities, because that is where Mars is sitting in the chart. And because Mars is going to go back into shared resources with business partners and spousal type partners, some of these decisions may be about legal matters and financial repercussions with those sorts of people, including business partnership entities as well. So look clearly to see what it is that you are in decision mode about. What are you thinking you want to make a major decision and later take action? You have been thinking about this for a while. It's not brand new. Okay. And Mercury's turning around at 6 degrees of Sag. And by the time you get to about, we're going to go with that turnaround. That's good enough for me. He's still retrograde when he's exactly opposite. But when he more or less, yeah. And it's kind of an interesting time for you, because when I think about making decisions connected to ninth house matters, I want to upgrade you a bit to Dharma. There's a thing in life called our purpose in life, or the meaning of our life, or what we really aspire to do or be in this world. And that's what Mars is there doing. Master, how do you carve a perfect Dharma elephant every time? I carve away all that is not elephant from the block of jade. Mars is kind of slicing through the meaning of your life, trying to ship off all the stuff that isn't really right for you. Is this really who I'm supposed to be? Is this really what I want to become in my life? Is this my meaning of life? Now, you could be making a major decision around a travel plan, a major decision, an idea around long-term committed love and romance, or far away love and new romance blossoming. But I think it's about a major decision point for most of you. And that is around the 14th to the 16th of the month of December. But it's a trine, so it's a positive energy. On December 19th and 20th, another positive energy is Venus is flowing to Jupiter in a trine as well. This is luck and luck. Luck, double your luck. Double your luck with writing projects, travel, educational matters, skills-based learning, getting accepted at a school you want to go to school in. It's flowing to the marriage house, even though Jupiter's retrograde. It could be a nice little trip with my significant other, getaway with my marriage type partner. Be great for a business contract or deal if you're a writer, a communicator, a marketer, seller, if you're in the online world. Jupiter represents legal, deal, seventh house. It's coming back from the past, though, because Jupiter's also retrograde. So things that never got off the ground to do with good news, good developments, lucky developments are here. Younger sibling, one under you, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews, neighbors are all third house people. Luck arrives on your doorstep from those people and through those people, December 19th to the 20th. On December 21st to the 29th, Jupiter squares Saturn. Oh my God, right through the end of the month, right? So the last, 8 days of the month of December are gnarly. Might help to go back to August the 19th, because that was when we had the same square in the sky, a little bit different degrees, but go back to August 19th, give or take about a week on either side, and what was going on in your life. Because what we have here is Jupiter in your marriage house squaring Saturn in your fourth house. It was in direct motion, that Jupiter, back in the day, back in August 19th. Now he's going back over an old story when he was squaring Saturn and then retrograde in August in your fourth house. What's going on, Sagittarius? Are you thinking of moving your home? Are you feeling like you don't want to stay where you are? Is there an elder living in your home and you're wanting to reshuffle the thing and send the elder off to a home care center? Is there stress in your marriage or long-term committed love? And you're trying to figure out, is this an opportunity and a blessing, or is this a curse? Because this Jupiter square is not easy. It's Jupiter says opportunity, growth, expansion, and Saturn says contraction, caution, be careful. And it's not a good one to necessarily like sell a house under, for example. Legal contracts and buyers, as Jupiter in the seventh house, a buyer from the past comes back, wants to buy your house. Saturn says, oh, we need to take a cautious look at this. Don't jump. This is not a leap and the net will appear. This is like the last week of December is wait and see, be careful. It could be something to do with your marriage partner. Jupiter is retrograde. Maybe they're going through something and they have to go, back to their mother or hometown or home and family environment. If they live somewhere, like if their family of origin is different than yours, they might be traveling back to see their family of origin people. Maybe that's all it is, but there's still tension in the marriage, long-term committed love house. If you're single, don't worry about it. But for those of you who are in partnership, there's a lot of domestic tension with a significant other in the sky. Again, not great for buying and selling a property under the sky. It foretells hardship if you continue forward. And on December the 26th to the 27th, Mercury will be opposite Jupiter and squaring Saturn. I bet you that sounds familiar. That's what happened already on December the 4th. So December 20, I want you to think about this. Get a pen, right? November the 18th or so, all right, there was a gnarly T-square in the sky, all right, opposition in the sky between Mercury and Jupiter. Then December 4th, Mercury and Jupiter are opposite again, but now T-squaring Saturn. And on December 26th, here we go with a T-square. All of this is saying Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius, your kingdom, is opposite Jupiter in the house of significant others. That's the basic message. What is this tension between communications and ideas and rethinking and thinking your marriage, your business partnerships, and the way you approach your clients and audience? And that's back again, December 26th, 27th, while squaring Saturn in the house of home. Very likely you're going to see connections between that T-square in the sky, like December 4th to the 6th, give or take a few days, and what's going on December 26th and 7th. It's the same story, back again, but now we have Mercury direct. And so you want to take action and you know what you want. You're made your mind up now about what you were thinking about maybe December 4th to the 6th. Are you going to change your home? Are you going to swap out a marriage partner? Are you going to quit a long-term relationship? Are you going to sell a property after all? So that last energy, December 26th, is less concerning to me. If you want to sell a property, I suppose you can. At least Mercury, even in debility, is moving direct. Get an extra legal eye on it, though, of course, because Mercury is your mind in Sag, not seeing the details and the fine print. And then on December 27th, Venus squares Uranus on Wealth Star Algol. It's just like another opportunity for a surprise around money or property or real estate. No, sorry, not for you. It's a surprise regarding wealth connected to work and rental opportunities and rental properties, an unexpected opportunity to pay off a debt, money coming from an aunt, uncle, cousin, niece, sibling, or neighbor, and some kind of financial relief, or an exciting opportunity for a rental property in a neighborhood that you really like, or to rent your property out to the ideal tenant, or a shocking, surprising opportunity to travel somewhere, somehow connected to work and work obligations or opportunities. And that is happening on December 27th. You want to give that a day or two on either side. Finally, December the 30th is the new moon. It's in Capricorn at 9 degrees of Capricorn. 9 degrees of Capricorn for you is your money house. It's the way you have resources, money, earnings, and possessions, financial survival and wellness, new beginnings, new moon, new fresh start. Now, everyone is different. I don't have your chart in front of me, so I don't know what planets you have in your Capricorn second house that participate in this lunation at 9 degrees of Capricorn. But for the most part, having a new beginning here, which happens every year, is offering you a chance to reset the odometer on your financial stories. You may want to become more serious and stern about it. It's ruled by Saturn in your fourth house direct. What ways do money and home, budgets and home, spending and home, mortgages and other ways to finance a home have a fresh possibility and a new beginning as a new moon opens up, not just December 30th, add 2 weeks after, but add 6 months after, the potential for a new relationship to home connected to financial matters. And that's what I've got for you, Capricorn. I hope that was useful. I hope that you got something new from that, something helpful. Did I say Capricorn, Sagittarius? And thanks for listening. Don't forget to check out in my description box everything about my channel, my Patreon community, my Substack, the Pluto Chronicles, and more. It's all in the description box under the More button under this video. Thank you, everybody. I've got some really weird lighting in my office today. Thanks all. Take care.